Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be drawing characters that I remind my fans of. I'm going to be making two drawings in this video. The first one being a more simple traditional piece, but the second one is a more fancy digital art piece. And each drawing is going to be of a different character, so let's get started. So instead of telling you the character right off the bat, I'd like to see if you can guess who they are. So the very first hint I can give you is that this character is from a video game. The second hint I can give you is that this video game was recently adapted into a live action movie, but this character has not appeared in any of the movies yet. And the last hint I will give you is that this character is a bunny. So were you able to guess who it is? It's Cream the Rabbit from Sonic. She's a super cute character in my opinion, and she was suggested by Canine Cool Art Studios on YouTube. I think the reason that she probably suggested her is because she thinks that I seem like her, maybe like very sweet and cute, I don't know. But it does make me really happy that my personality reminds her of Cream, because Cream has always been one of my favorite characters from Sonic X, although my actual favorite was Shadow, but I'd rather be more like Cream than Shadow. I did struggle with this drawing quite a bit though. I normally draw human characters, not animals, and for some reason these type of characters are just so challenging for me to draw. I never know what I'm doing. Originally I was referencing a lot of other artists' work, but in the end I just did my own thing because I didn't really know exactly what I wanted this picture to look like, and I felt like if I just did what came the most natural to me, maybe I'd like the result the most. I've never drawn Cream before, and I haven't drawn Sonic characters in years, so this was definitely very interesting. Also, sorry for the bad video quality. I was recording on my iPad and for some reason it ended up looking not very good. Oh, also, I can't forget to mention, on the same day I finished this drawing, I also got a Boston cream donut. I don't think there's any way that was a coincidence, you know, cream, it's just too convenient. I was adding all the final effects for this picture, and sometimes I think adding the final effects on paper is even more fun than digitally. There's just something so satisfying about it. And now I have finished my drawing of Cream the Rabbit. I think she turned out so cute. It was out of my comfort zone, but the result is something that I'm really proud of. Now let's move on to the next drawing, where I'll be doing something digitally and it's going to be a little bit more fancy. So the second character that I'm going to be drawing today was suggested by the YouTuber Artish, and she said that I remind her of Shirayuki from Snow White with the red hair. I was very excited to draw her because I'm actually a really big fan of that series. So first things first, as always I had to trace over the sketch I did on paper onto digital, and honestly, although I thought the original sketch I did on paper was pretty good, I kind of got tired of it, and I think I made her eyes and her whole face proportions look so weird, and when I was tracing it over digitally I was really annoyed by it. I was able to fix it fairly quickly though, so that's good. I've noticed though I've been struggling a lot for some reason with proportions recently, especially faces, and a lot of times when that happens, after that pretty soon I end up improving a lot, like my proportions and everything look a lot better, so I hope that will happen this time because it's been pretty rough. I feel like every time I draw something I'm just not sure about how it looks. And then I do usually end up liking it, but it takes a long time. Like I said though, this time it was pretty quick, so I was happy with that because I didn't want to sit around struggling for ages like I have been. So right now I am starting to add her outfit, and I kind of designed her outfit myself just based on other outfits that she has in the manga. By the way, I am absolutely in love with her outfits in the manga, like they are literally so gorgeous. And now I am adding the colors, which was a lot of fun. I debated making the supporting color on her outfit blue or pink, but I ended up going with blue, which by the way, when I color pick it, actually is a green, which is really weird because it definitely looks blue against her outfit in the other colors. Also, something kind of weird is that last week my video was about 9 minutes and 30 seconds long, and this week's video is almost the same exact length. That almost never happens. Hopefully next week I'll be able to make my video a little more different than that length. This wasn't on purpose, it's just how it happened. You know, some of you anime watchers might be wondering, why is she drawing Shirayuki with such long hair? Well, you see, although it is true that in the anime Shirayuki has very medium length hair, in the manga the story goes a lot further. The anime stops the story after about volume 8 in the manga, but the manga has gone all the way to 27 volumes, which by the way I collect them, but I haven't got the 27th volume yet. But anyways, the story goes a lot longer and Shirayuki's hair grows out over the course of it. By the way, this actually is not her longest hair. Her hair actually gets a lot longer in the story, but I've always thought that her long hair is just so pretty and I wanted to draw it. Especially because I actually do prefer the manga over the anime. I haven't actually finished the anime yet. There's just something about the manga though that I really love. It's got such a nice like concept and just something about it. Her art style, the author's, is just so pretty. You guys might know that one of my biggest art inspirations is love to draw manga, but the other one is the author of Snow White with Red Hair. Her art style is just so gorgeous. I love the way that her pieces kind of look like watercolor, and there's just something so soft and nice about it. The series and story and characters overall though in Snow White with Red Hair are just so good. I absolutely love all the characters and the concept is just so fun. I've always really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend recommend the series. Although it is rated 13+, the main issue is violence. It doesn't have violence all the time, but in some scenes, I'm pretty sensitive and I am able to handle it, but some scenes are a little bit, you know, kind of scary, so I'd only recommend it if you think that you're brave enough. But anyways, it is really good. It's such a sweet romance. I'd really recommend looking into the story because it's definitely a good read or watch. Oh, and by the way, I was actually given a reason why I remind her of Shirayuki. So there was actually a couple different reasons. The first one is that I'm adventurous, like I'm willing to try new things. And the second one is that I'm thoughtful. And the third one is that I'm kind without letting other people talk down to me. And I don't know if that part is necessarily true, but I'd like it to be. And the last reason is that once I decide something matters, I get super determined, just like Shirayuki. And that is definitely true. I cannot quit once I get committed to something. And now let's go into real-time footage so I can add some cute little dandelions to the picture. I am quite literally just going in with a sort of fluffy fuzzy brush and adding lines. That is it. Later I will add a little brown like stem to it. I don't know actually what it's called on dandelions, but I will add the rest of it, but it's super simple. I was not doing anything fancy. I feel like I should also probably mention my favorite characters from Snow White Red Hair because, you know, you might want to know, and also I like to talk a little bit about it. So my absolute #1 favorite character is actually not Shirayuki, it is Zen. I love him so much. He is such a well-written character. I also just think he's so funny. His story is so good. His design, I really like him. I don't know. I usually don't like characters that are so perfectly sweet, but I feel like the way that he's written to be really nice is much more realistic. He doesn't feel unrealistic, and I like that. I think he's the perfect prince for the story. My second favorite is Shirayuki. I relate to her, and I like how headstrong she is. And then I also really like Obi. He is so cool. I also think his story is very sweet. Of course, I can't forget about Mitsuhide or Kiki either. I love them very much as well. Every character is really good, like I said. It's just such a good cast and good story. I would very much recommend it for any teenagers. Anyways though, you know, I really do love dandelions. I just find them so adorable. I mean, how could you not? I've loved them ever since I was a little kid, and honestly, it hasn't changed. Right here you can see I was trying to move them around a bit because I felt like the original placement wasn't really complementing like the composition of the piece. I know nothing professionally about composition at all. It's all just winging it, but I didn't think it looked good, so I decided to change it, and I'm glad I did because I like it better after I kind of moved things over. I'm also glad I didn't end up merging all the layers because when I merge all the layers, I can't move things around so easily, so it's good that I decided to keep the dandelions in their own layers. It might be weird to you guys seeing the select pen because you normally can't see the color of it, but it's like a red color, but in the time lapse it never shows up. Oh, and so right here I was deciding to add extra hair strands to Shirayuki because whenever I add extra hair strands kind of coming out of the original line art, I think it makes the picture look so much more interesting. I saw an art tip to do that somewhere before, and I'm glad I ended up going with it in almost all my pieces now because it really does add something else to the piece. And that's all I like to show for the real-time footage today, so let's move back to the time-lapse. So here, as always, I was just adding more effects, and I really wanted to make her eyes shinier, and for a minute, can we all just appreciate just how red her hair is? Like, it's supposed to be apple red, that's how it's described in the books and how it always is drawn, but man, I drew it so vibrant. But honestly, I love it. I think it's really, really pretty. I was trying to add some more, like, color contrast interest in the picture, though, because I always like it when people add multiple colors in the hair shading, so I was trying to do that here. I did yellow because I know that sometimes red apples have a little bit of a secondary color that's like a yellow shade, so I thought that would be perfect. Thank you so much again to everybody who suggested characters. You're the reason that I could do this challenge, and if any of you guys watching have any ideas, feel free to drop them in the comments. I still have a few more characters to go through, but new ones won't hurt. I'll just draw as many characters as I feel like drawing for this challenge, and it will continue as long as I feel like. But anyways, here we are. Here are the finished pictures for this video. I had so much fun drawing both these. If you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now! Featured in today's fan art spotlight is Mina's Art Cove. Thank you so much for drawing Kikuyo and your sweet message. It means literally so much to me and makes me so happy.